Looks like we might have some city truck street theater going on this morning. This garbage truck has just been idling in front of my house for about 5 minutes, shutting it off. He actually dumped my trash container in the truck and climbed up and got it out. Which is I've never seen happen before. I don't know why he would do that stunt. But the container he dropped it right in the truck, climbed up there manually, got it out. Now he's been sitting here like this. Then he shut his truck off. Now he's starting it up again. Now he's backing up. Now he's backing up some more. What's this guy gonna do? I'm gonna go inside and kind of do this via stealth. But, yeah, this dude's up to some weird garbage. Now he shut the truck off after he backed it up. Sitting in front of the house. And there he is. Yeah, it's just amazing how many organizations and agencies and companies and fleets all have to find reasons to stop and park and idle in front of my house any day of the week, anytime they're out. And they can just sit there and pretend they're doing paperwork, or their vehicle's broken, or they have to take a break or whatever. But, why is it always in front of my house? They play little games sometimes. They'll throw these containers. Sometimes they'll throw them on the ground when they leave, or knock them over as they leave. Just to, I'm the only one in the neighborhood, just to show me that they have a little act of contempt, or just showing me they know who I am. I just had never seen them actually drop the whole gray container in the truck and have to climb up there and get it out. It's just there's no explaining the weirdness of what these people do. And a lot of it is just to do bizarre stuff. Like last night, coming home after groceries, I go, after a bunch of stalking in the store, I pull up to an intersection and there'll be a car in the left turn lane making a left turn, and suddenly they'll whip it out in front of me and turn right. Just stupid, juvenile garbage. There's a white pickup stalking by. My neighbor staring at me. Won't ever talk to me or look at me. I've never harmed the guy. He lives 2 doors down, but he's got a fleet of 3 white vehicles, and he will be dispatched with very much regularity. Synchronized dispatching. Right when I go outside, he'll just come blasting out of his driveway right when I go out to my car. That kind of junk. Who knows what this dude's doing? There he is, doing whatever. Maybe he's coming up with some offense that I've done. Gonna write me up for something? I don't know. I have no idea. This is not normal. Look at him playing this game. He threw something in the street so he could come back, go pick it up. It's very typical too. Who on earth knows what this guy is doing? He's doing something on the ground. I'm amazed at the acting capacity of these guys. All the things they could come up with to do. Just to be in your face, just to be there. My neighbors will just start doing weird things in the yards, like busy nothing work, or just tasks that really aren't tasks. Just moving around, fiddling with things. There's always the classic, break out the cell phone and pretend they're doing something on it. Maybe they are, maybe it's gangstalking communication, or maybe it's just, that's pretty universal. People, I see it all over the forums. People just, these guys whip out their cell phone and just stare at it like a zombie when you're walking by, or they point it at you. So incredibly strange. Yeah, I was a trucker once. Sometimes you stop and you document things, or sometimes you have something go wrong, but just very strange that he would play that container game and then pull up to the neighbor's house and then park it and then back up, then shut it off, then start it up again, and then get out and play these little walk around games, and then sit there. They do this with tree trucks. They do it with PG&E trucks. I've never seen them do the trash thing, except for, they have knocked my containers over often. It's just like a little petty act of disrespect. or there's been times where they have actually just flippantly driven past my house and had my house be the only house on the block that they don't pick up. Forcing me to have to make a phone call. And I've had the mailman blast past my house before when the red flag is up. It's just to be in your face. So all of our wonderful public servants, at least the ones in my environment, participate. I wonder what he's doing in there. Probably playing a game on his phone, who knows, or receiving communications about me. This is so obviously InfraGard driven, involving all these entities in this operation. Who knows how long this guy's gonna sit here? It's just about intimidation. They're not even supposed to sit there and idle their trucks like this, but he is. And of course, if I was to make a comment about this to the city, they would come up with a reason why he was here doing this. He would have to be filling out some log or some. They'd come up with some phony baloney. A very productive use of time, isn't it? Doesn't matter. I'm sure there's some good overtime in this, for being willing to help do this act of justice against me, this vigilante justice, this investigation, having everybody watch and watch and watch all the time, because there's no reason he can't pull up to the neighbor's house and continue on his route. And just a million little things in your life out here. Hard to see it from this angle. Yeah, it's very tough with the sunlight on, but this road was resurfaced recently. Looked really nice. I know you can't see it in this angle, but there's a giant, a couple days later, a couple giant blotches of oil appear right in front of my driveway. Nowhere else, just in front of my driveway. I'm sure something just happened to stop there and leak a couple quarts of oil on cue. It's real obvious somebody came and dumped it when I wasn't around. It's just that kind of petty. This is like grade school bullying and hazing on steroids for adults. And there's not a otherwise moral, professional, respected adult that will not participate in this program. It seems to take somebody of the caliber of someone like Terry Albury, who was a high-ranking FBI officer who was being forced to target certain groups. And he couldn't stand doing it anymore. He just didn't have the integrity to stomach it, or he did have the integrity where he couldn't stomach it anymore. So he just couldn't take it. I mean, he could have retired peacefully and quietly, but he accepted in his conscience. So he leaked this information to the media that he was being forced to target and frame up innocent groups, and he went to jail for leaking that information. Someone like that will do that, but here in the local environment, family, friends, church, businesses, there's nobody that won't participate in this thing against me. I cannot believe that it's come to this in my life where I'm just this framed up lab rat for who knows what. And that this is the kind of stuff that goes on. Look at this picture of a nice typical family and how they're being so well served by the city and its employees, and look what I'm getting instead. I should be standing out there with them gang stalking me. They should have that picture up there. And we're into about 10 minutes now that he's here doing this. It says 10:06 on the timestamp right now on the camera. Unbelievable. There not only is no cause for this, but there are... There goes another white truck behind him. Oh, it's the neighbor coming right back. What are the odds that he would need to go out for just a few minutes and come back? He's a business owner. His business is across town. I'm sure he would just need to go on a little errand. InfraGard is paying for all the gas and time for these people to do this garbage. Nobody else would just waste their vehicles and their gas to do this, but all these neighbors will go out and leave and come back on tiny little, like 3 or 5 minute errands at any time of the day. All day long. If I'm outside, they'll do it constantly. You can see the white Volkswagen of the neighbor over there. He used to be my best friend on the block for years. Since the attack began, and I was burned over my body and shocked sleepless and forced into the hospital. He used to come over and talk to me every few days. We'd have a good chat in the morning, and now he hasn't spoken to me in 2 years, won't look at me, comes outside, his back always turned to me, won't make eye contact. He used to just give me these big hearty waves across the street. Now he won't even acknowledge my existence, and of course, like everyone else, he will not tell me why. Very, very involved, seemingly very moral Jehovah's Witness man. We have talked about values a lot, and yet he's willing to participate in this game too. And since he always told me their old Dodge Caliber, the transmission was going bad, and he had no idea how they were going to afford another car. Bam, the minute this program began, there's his other car. Not saying that's the reason, but I'm just making an observation. People are known to be compensated in this program for what they do, and maybe that's something they had in their inventory, and they said, hey, you know, if you want this, here it is. Well, we're into, what, 12 minutes now? This guy's sitting here. Yeah, what could he be doing? I'm sure this isn't his lunch break. Who knows how indefinitely this will go on.